Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much for joining me here. Hope you're having a great day. We're taking a quick look here at OGN. Just gonna recap. We covered this here previously. It had this falling wedge pattern that it has broken out of since. You got to recognize too that when trends tend to break free, they don't necessarily have to go parabolic or crazy afterward. They can usually be range bound, which is what we're seeing here right now. So what we want to do is kind of identify a few key factors. We want to look at maybe some weekly closes, kind of get some key level supports and resistances. Just kind of get perspective on what's going on. We can kind of see here, this is a pretty important level here right there at about 15 cents even. And then of course we've got some previous week closes too. We'll go ahead and mark those as well. So what's interesting about these levels is a lot of times these levels will line up with Fibonacci retracement. So we'll go ahead and double check and see if that is the case. We want to also look at Elliott Wave too and see if there is potential for this to play out. We do have a 1, 2, 3 pattern here so far. We might be at a lowest point here for the 4th, so we'll see if that's a possibility as well. So again, if you're new to the channel, I'm not a financial advisor, just love to teach people to trade. Really hope you can learn something here today, and if you do want to become a better trader, again, cryptocash.tech is a site, link down below. So what we want to look at really quick here, first and foremost, is just some interesting behavior, right? So first things first, we want to look at RSI and MACD, and just acknowledge that even though the money flow index is high, we got the RSI staying the same. What does that usually tell us? Well, it tells us we have some significant resistance, which is right here at about $12. Sorry, $12. That'd be nice. 12.3 cents, 12.4 if you round up a little bit. So 12.4. But with this money flow index being high, you got to recognize this is an average of 14 days. Okay, so is it getting really high? It's kind of just averaged out for the last 14 days. So if we take a look at the volume, we can see here, of course, that we've got a decent amount of resistance here, roughly at about 11.7. But the key takeaway here is that we've got a decent amount, a secondary amount of, if you will, or I guess primary if you zoom out a little bit, right there at about like the 9.5 cent mark. So the reason why that's relevant is because if the price does pull back, that's going to be a stronger support level for us. We should likely see a bounce. A lot of times, in fact, the most recent highs here are new lows. So the price does pull back, that'll be a nice little bouncing point for us. But the truth is this chart isn't the cleanest, and the fact that Bitcoin's been doing very well and this coin's been kind of going sideways leads me to believe there's not a lot of interest in this coin, which is kind of normal. Where our MACD is diverging here as well too, so it's important to note that. So truthfully, the daily doesn't look super bullish. We are barely maintaining above the 20-day SMA. The 50 is working its way up. We got this ascending type of trend here with the 50. We want to kind of be mindful of that. So if we do break below that, we might be truly bearish. If Bitcoin does break down, which I'm kind of expecting a little bit, then we could very well see this coin break down as well. So truth is the daily looks kind of break even. There's some good stuff and some bad stuff, and I don't really love either of it. Just being honest with you. MACD is diverging here on the 4 hour as well. We're below 50 on the RSI. Those are two bearish signs in most cases. We can see with our moving averages, we're below all three, kind of having difficulty staying above. And if we take a look at a few other factors here, we got our weekly high-low open close. The 1 month close is typically the one I like to look for. Right there at about 12 cents even. So again, closing below 12 cents here is not really ideal. If we take a look at some liquidity here, there are some liquidity levels. If we zoom in a little bit on the 4 hour, we got some lower liquidity here that needs to be swept still, and an upper level as well. So we're kind of right in the middle of both. When it's a situation like this, I typically like to wait for entry to take an entry down here or up here. In other words, I take a short when it rejects off that level after it sweeps that liquidity, or a long after it sweeps this low liquidity level and comes up. So in all reality right now, me personally, I would wait for entry either above or below those two liquidity levels. So just say somewhere below 11.3 might be a consideration for a long, and then somewhere above, just say 12.8, maybe 13 cents even, would be a consideration for a short. Again, I'd reevaluate when we get there. I'm not just going to jump blindly, but those are things that I try to look for. Again, it's different scenarios for every situation. So take a look at the 4 hour time frame. We can see also, once again, being below 50 on the RSI, typically a bearish side. So the truth is here, this coin does have potential to break out. But honestly, the way that it's shaping up here, I don't really like to consider getting in really with anything that I see here so far. So that's just my recommendation, is to kind of wait for a good entry. Wait until it breaks that resistance level and consider a long, or maybe wait till it breaks that lower level too and consider a short. There's a few different scenarios, but none of them really look that fantastic just yet. Ichimoku Cloud is a big mess here, and the main reason why is because it's fairly range-bound activity. When the price goes sideways like this, you really get a lot of false positives, so I don't really even like to rely on that. We could take a look at the CC Golden indicator here, and it's kind of telling us that we do want to have our position closed by now. Truthfully, there's not a lot of good stuff here on this coin, so I'm just gonna let you know, very, very straightforward. I would avoid this coin here. While it is ascending positively and there's some bullish signs, it's like a 55% probability the price is gonna go up and like a 45% chance it's gonna go down. In other words, when it's that close of an odds, I don't really like to flip the coin and hope for the best. I'd wait for confirmation. So to me personally, waiting for those liquidity levels to be swept and reevaluate, that's roughly what I'm going to be looking at. Okay, so again, just some friendly advice here. Careful trading this coin right now. It doesn't really give us the best, not the best indications right now. All right. Hopefully that made sense for you. Thanks so much for watching. If you like, subscribe, follow the whole 9 yards, greatly appreciate that. And obviously jump on over to our Twitter, Telegram, and Discord. We got some really good stuff here. If you want to be part of our community, awesome stuff too. Check out our premium results here with my trade signals. We hit some healthy trades there. Injective, we just hit that 203%. We took a couple of stop losses last month with that ugly jump up from Bitcoin. Wrecked a couple of our shorts, but otherwise 90% still pretty good. Be sure to check that out if you get a chance. Otherwise, hope you have a great rest of the day. Thank you so much for joining me here. Have a good one. We'll take care.